Hey. So I was thinking about this girl that I met years ago in the psych ward, place they hold you until they decide to let you go, I guess, for whatever reason. I had gotten to the psych ward, and they have their groups. The people all have their groups, their friend groups, to get them through the time, because it's boring in there, very boring. And so they, cliques form. There's not many people, but still, cliques form. There's the loner even. Imagine being the loner in the psych ward. That sucks. Believe it or not, I was fairly popular. People liked me, because I listened. And I tried to be empathetic. And I found every single person in there fascinating, but one stood out substantially. It was this girl. And before I ever saw her, I heard people talking about her, gossiping in these cliques, talking about how she was in there for trying to kill herself, trying to commit suicide. And what I found weird was they make you come out of your room at certain times of the day. Attendance is required, and if you don't attend certain things or you're late, it effectively looks bad. And if you want to get out, which I definitely wanted to get out as soon as possible, I did not want to be in there. If you want to get out, you have to be sort of obedient. So I found it very peculiar that she never showed up for anything, except maybe like one thing later on. But before then, I had no idea what she looked like. I had no idea who she was. All I knew was she was in there for trying to kill herself. So it was very peculiar. Everyone else came out. They sort of made you. They'd even, guys can't go into the girls' rooms. Girls can't go into the guys' rooms. Makes sense. So they'd have even a girl took her food to her. So I never saw her until one day, there she was, standing just outside the threshold of the doorway to her room. And she was beautiful, just like beautiful, incredibly beautiful. But what struck me about her wasn't that. That was secondary. What struck me about her was that she was smiling basically from ear to ear. A very confident, genuine, beautiful smile. Not with like teeth. It wasn't like, it was like, and it was just an unending smile, never flinching. Every moment she was smiling, and it was genuine. It was as if her whole being was happiness. It was as if she was a monk that attained enlightenment. It was as if there was no suffering or pain within her whatsoever. I found that very fascinating, especially considering what I had heard about her. So I found her fascinating from I found everyone in there fascinating. They were such characters, as you can imagine. But her, a contradiction, and just to me, I wanted to know her. Well, as luck would have it, she ended up talking to me. And we talked and we walked over, we just paced around the whole psych ward several times talking about our lives and talking about things. She used to play Legend of Zelda when she was young, just like me. We connected on a lot of things, actually. And she ended up, I got out of the psych ward before her, even though I got in after her. So I was there shorter. But she gave me her phone number. For what purpose? I didn't know, but she gave me her phone number. A beautiful girl gives you her phone number. Are you going to use it? Well, you met her in the psych ward. Don't forget. But, I mean, she was beautiful, nice. We had a lot in common. I figured, why not? But I didn't use it. But then one day, I text her, saying, hey, what's up? How you been? You get out? Just see what's up. Because being in a psych ward together for a while, it does give you a certain bond that you can't really find anywhere else. Sort of like honor among thieves, but honor among crazies, you could say. And I was like, wanted to catch up. And she said she was homeless, or she was about to be homeless. She was like couch surfing. And I was like, oh, that's horrible. If you want to come here, you can. Don't have much room, but I don't really mind. She was beautiful. She seemed pretty nice. I did know she was probably fairly unstable, but so was I. So I figured, what's the worst that could happen? Although the worst that could happen did cross my mind a couple of times. But I figured, why not? So yeah, I invited her over. But she never came. She actually declined the offer. And I found that strange. Because she liked me enough to give me her phone number, right? Isn't that strange? Gives me her phone number. Is about to go homeless. And then here I say, yeah, sure, if you wanna, come on over. I'll let you stay as long as you want. I don't care. Not genuinely, no ulterior motive for me. I liked her. I was lonely at the time. Just some company would have been nice, I think. I used to have gaming consoles. We could have played games. I had The Legend of Zelda. Who knows what we could have played? I mean, it could have been fun, right? A kindred spirit. But she declined. And I know why. Because she didn't want me to suffer more than I already was. She didn't want to drag me down with her. But I wish I could have seen that smile for the second time. The whole time I talked to her in the psych ward, that smile was there. Every moment she was smiling. And I realize why now, I think. She knew she was going to die. So she had nothing to worry about. And she didn't just know. I could tell she felt it. She felt the relief. She could feel the end. Well, anyway, she ended up killing herself. So I never got to see her again. It's kind of funny. The reason I'm crying is not for her. Not even a little bit. It's totally self-centered, the reason I'm crying. The reason I'm crying is for me. Because I know she's happy. Or nothing. Certainly not alive. She is not suffering as much as I am anymore. So I'm crying for myself. I've known several people who've killed themselves. And they were all such characters and interesting people. Much more so than me. And they're gone. And they're probably better off. Where they are. Or where they aren't, which is here. Because they hated it. If I'm being honest, which I try to always be, I hate it here too. And I'm trying so many drugs lately. But they don't last very long. And, they don't change anything. I'm gonna keep trying them, I guess. But I'm not very hopeful. I can say this, though. The path I am on right now is the best one I could have chosen. But it's not good enough. I'm not okay. I've never been okay. I can't even talk to my parents anymore. And I'm finally done with them, and I'm happy about that. Well, happy is the wrong word. Happy for me is just not suffering horribly. I'm not suffering horribly because of them anymore. Because parents, especially neurotypical parents, they want you to be happy, but I have no capacity for that. So it just compounds the pain. Especially because I feel this need to pretend as though things aren't horrible. I don't have to pretend anymore. There's a freedom to that. And freedom is good. I know that. Because even though I was depressed and she was depressed in that psych ward, there was still an added burden of the lack of freedom from being stuck in there against your will. In her case, unable to kill herself, but knowing she would. In my case, I wanted to get out as fast as possible. I was uncomfortable there. Didn't sleep well. It was not an okay situation. And I was very afraid. And so, not only was I locked in there against my will, but I had to pretend that I was a normal, healthy person the whole time. Because if I didn't, they would have kept me in there longer. You know, it's kind of funny. I remember seeing that they make you do all sorts of things. One of the things they make you do is see a doctor every now and then. And I had to play it off as though I was upset, but now I'm fine. And it was a mistake. And I had to give them no ground. I had to be very careful. And I could see this doctor, who was clearly a very intelligent doctor. This was not your typical, I'm here because I got my medical degree and I just don't want to be here. This was a doctor who knew his shit. He's in a psych ward. He's seen some shit. This guy was smart. I couldn't fool him. He saw right through me. He's seen, I'm sure, hundreds of people just like me. And he saw what I was doing, playing it off as though I was fine so I could get out. Even though I'm very good at it. I have more practice than anyone. I've seen over 12 therapists and psychiatrists and taken every medication. I know everything there is to know about how to manipulate doctors and psychiatrists. But he saw through it. And he didn't say anything. But I could tell from this look on his face. He was giving me the sign. He was pissed. The look he gave me. After a few minutes of talking to me, he looked like this. And that's all he had to do. I got it, you know? Of course, I still didn't give him any ground, but I got it. He was pissed. Because he wanted me to get help. But I had already done that for over a decade. And I knew there was no medical or therapeutic help for me. I just wanted to get out. So he let me out after a few days. And no one else saw through it. Everyone else thought, oh yeah, this is a normal person. Why are you in here? Even the nursing staff liked me. I had conversations with them because I knew that they were feeding information to the doctors, obviously. So, just had small talk with them and kept things, asked them how they were. Did everything right. No one saw through it except him. So he's a very impressive individual. Never saw him again. But, I wanted that freedom to suffer. The freedom to suffer. Isn't that interesting? If you're suffering already, why does it matter if you have freedom or not? It matters. It does. It makes it harder having to hide the suffering. Which I've had to do my whole life. Because of my abusive parents. And they wonder why I hate them. And they'll never know, even though I've explained it to them many times, that they literally have no idea. And I don't even want to go into all the horrible physical and mental abuse. There's no point. But anyway, I have my freedom. So where do I go from here? That's what I'm trying all these drugs for, but they're just temporary, and they're not going to change me. I don't know if change is possible anymore. I am who I am. I have no hope for the future at all. I guess the one positive is that I'm still crying every now and then. I'm not smiling. Not usually. Because if I were smiling all the time, well then things would be bad. Because then I'd know, like she did. That's what I was thinking about. I don't know, I just had this thought. As I was thinking about it, and I was thinking certain thoughts, and I just started smiling, and I thought I'd make this video. But not smiling anymore. There's something I know I have to do in terms of drugs. Well, I don't know that I have to do it, but I have to try to do it. Because I don't know if it's possible, but sort of trying to break my mind with certain drugs. No amount of therapy helped, no amount of psychiatric medication, pharmaceutical medication helped. I tried them all. There are certain drugs that make me feel good, but I don't really want to feel good, I want to feel different. I don't want to go into what's hurting me so much. It's too personal. Even for me, which says a lot, because nothing is too personal for me. I share everything here, but yeah. My deepest pain is a little too personal. And the only way I can fix that pain is through death. Now, I don't have to physically die, but mentally, I need to change entirely. My whole psyche needs to warp. My whole consciousness needs to shift direction. And that's going to be very scary and very painful. But if I don't do it, I'm going to die. It's just true. Nothing short of a total transformation. Anyway. Just thought I'd share that. If you made it this far, clearly you care about me in some way, or you find me interesting or something. But, so I think I'll just say, I don't talk to anyone anymore. Nobody. Don't take it personally, but I'm done with people. Doesn't mean I'll be alone forever. I do plan on finding someone special, if they exist, but odds are you're not it. So I won't be talking to anyone from now on.